Hi guys, and welcome to Airability. Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Airability, your weekly dose of lead therapy. And this week I'll be doing part 2 of my HFT500 build, and I'll be discussing the action and all the other bits and bobs I've added to it. So if you want to catch up on what's happened so far, please look in my other videos and see part 1 where I talk about this beautiful Tilly stock. And today I'm going to go and talk about what else I've done. So here we go. There's a gentleman on it who sells shrouds on eBay. He's called Dean Moss, and he's also on Facebook, and he's also a member of our Facebook group, so you can contact him through that. And he's built me this custom shroud with carbon silencer. I think it's quite difficult to get a shroud for a HFT500 because of the lack of depth between the barrel and the compressed air cylinder. Dean has done this really successfully. There's about 1.5 millimeter gap all the way down, which it absolutely clears everything, and it's still a fully floating barrel. The shroud is purely cosmetic with a carbon silencer. I'm going to show you some close-ups of this. Here's a close-up of the carbon silencer, and as you can see, it's a really neat job, and it fits so flush to the shroud. Inside the shroud, there is it looks like a Rowan silencer adapter, but it's a lot thinner, and he's done a lovely job really minimizing this adapter so you can actually put any type of silencer you want on the end. Whether you use Dean's silencer or not, it's up to you. And then the shroud just slips over the aluminium adapter at the end, and at the bottom here there's a little nubbin that really cleans off the appearance before it reaches the block. And again, I'll show you a close-up on that. You can see the barrel has plenty of clearance here, even with the shroud. And here's the nubbin that I described earlier, where it meets the block. So quick shout out to Dean. This shroud is excellent. It's very well made. It hasn't affected my accuracy, and I'm very happy with it. And I think it just makes things look a lot better than that little noodle of a barrel that you can normally see. Here's a picture of all the parts that go together to make the shroud and silencer, including the aluminium adapter, an extra ring that goes behind the fill port, and the little nubbin that fits snugly up against the block. So what else have I done to my HFT500? Well, it's been to Ratworks, and it's had the works. So we've got the quick fill adapter at the end here with the gauge. One thing I neglected to say in the video was the reasons behind getting the quick fill adapter and getting the gun regulated. And the quick fill adapter enables me to only carry one fill probe on my tank for both my Benchrest rifles. It's a small thing, but it makes life easier in the field. And the regulator, I do understand it on the whole, this is not going to improve accuracy, but what it's going to do is give me a bigger sweet spot and then enable me to shoot 3 or 4 Benchrest targets without the bother of having to fill my rifle. And moving down, we've had the full service package, and we've had a regulator fitted. And so I've been chronographing the action since it came back, and I've had it's very good. So, but I've had some interesting results. If I use pellets out of the tin, I'm getting a 5-foot total spread, which is excellent. But if I size them, and my accuracy improves because I've sized the pellets, I get a 7 feet total spread, which is quite interesting. So it does show that really speed isn't everything, is it? It's a combination of things. It's quite mystical really, isn't it? But anyway, that's why we all shoot our guns for hours and hours and hours, to make sure that we get all the variables right and they perform the best that they can. So that works again. The quick fill, we put the regulator in, done the tune. I've added this little biathlon lever here, just a eBay special, a couple of quid. Makes things a lot easier cocking. Don't have to think about it, you don't have to find the little hooky bit here to cock, quite like it. I've added a Rowan trigger guard on because I like the more traditional look than the two-sided HFT500 traditional one. Here's the Rowan trigger guard in all its glory. As you can see, it's more traditional in appearance than the standard HFT500 guard. I think it really suits this traditional walnut stock better, and I do really like the look of it. And on top here I have a Sightron S2 Benchrest scope. It's the small one, it's the 36x42mm. It's got very thin crosshairs on this gun. If you've got dodgy eyes, this will not be for you, trust me. But I'm finding it very, very clear. The dot goes right in the bull of the 25mm target with just enough white round so you can really centralise it. So very happy with that. I know it's not sunny in my shed, but I like the look of the sunshade, and I'm just showing you that this Sightron scope comes with a sunshade. The other thing is that I like to do, and you'll see on the close-up pictures, and I think for Benchrest it's really imperative you get the scope as close as you can to the barrel. But that also, you know, it's just personal choice. I've seen some people quite high, but for me it's about getting everything as close together as possible. Now, I was mentioning about the crosshairs could be a bit funny for people with dodgy eyes. Well, I actually do have an eye condition, and although I can see the crosshairs, I find the light coming in from the side of the scope quite distracting. So what I've done is I've put one of these eye cups on, which I find very, you know, works very well. It blocks out the ambient light. It allows me to concentrate on the crosshairs. This particular cup, the eyepiece swivels. It's not one of those cheap Chinese rubber cups. This is the real deal, and very good. I've got one on my Anschultz as well. I really like this eye cup, and that's why I have it on both my rifles. It fits really snugly and comfortably against the eye, and it also blocks out all of the ambient light. 5 foot total deviance. It's running at 11.6 foot-pounds. I've weighed it in its current configuration. It fits snugly into the LV Benchrest class at about 9.7 pounds, so we could possibly add a bit of weight. So now I'm a lucky camper because I have a HV class gun with the Anschultz, which I would never get into LV class. That's about 12 pounds at minimum spec, that one. And this one, like I said, 9.7 pounds. I can add a bit of weight if I want. We're comfortably in the LV class, and very happy with it. So I think what we're going to do now is, I think, you know, when you've got a Benchrest rifle and you're bragging about how much your spread is and how cool your scope is, you've got to be able to, you know, do the business. So I'm going to have a bit of a plink now, and I'm going to show you the results and see how I do. Hey guys, got to be honest, this was the best card that I've shot over the first 2 days since I've got the HFT500 back after it being tuned. I'm still in that process of trying to find the right pellet and sizing that pellet correctly. I think it's quite encouraging, and hopefully things can only get better from here. Okay then guys, until next week, take care and always have a safe backstop. Remember to check out my other YouTube videos, especially part 1 of the HFT500 customization, where I talk about my new Tilly stock. Also remember, we have a Facebook group of the same name, and everybody's welcome. See you there. Bye bye.